It's Friday. We've got a special guest. We've got Kyrie doing weird stuff. We got apps. We got a lot of fun stuff. Let's go.
Well, the top shot streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a Lake So Stan and a guy who really likes baseball. I don't know why he likes baseball.
All right, what's up, everybody? We made it to the end of the week. It's Friday. Let's do some housekeeping stuff right off the bat. We're going to do no happy hour today. No happy hour show today at 3 o'clock because we got booked for something else. So 9 o'clock, you're here already. At noon, we've got the NFL All-Day show where Big Ticket and Jay Light are going to come on. We're going to look at some projections, do some Rumble stuff, talk about last night's game, the playbook, all the fun shit. Who do we have here this morning? We got Regulator, BD, Stubbs in the house, We the Peeps, Sneeps, Ryan, Doctor, Rowdy Rod, Tommy Welch is here, Ryan's here, the Rad Dad, Naked XYZ is now Pizza Man, good for that, good for them. Noam's here, Boylan, the Top Shot comment, Blazemore, Artemis, Airplane Mode, Jano, who else? Scotty, Daniel, Badavine. JP's here, and I did it. I said his name, David Ramos. Mark is here, 9. Who else? Samosa, Garen, Ryan. I think we got almost everybody. Rad Dad taking some W's early in the morning. Devlar, JJL, Snoopaloop, 40, what's up? We got K down in the house. Who else? Homies, I see you. DJ Local, Maddie Harrison, Carlo, Ryan Andrews. I think I got everybody. That's it. Like the stream, subscribe, join the Discord, do all the things. In New York today, I woke up. It was like 50 degrees. It's going to be 70 degrees by the time we finish this show. So if I break into a sweat, it's not a COVID dream. It is hot. But right now it's cold. That's what we're doing. All right, let's get to the show. Excited to have a guest on today, mainly because everybody's like, when Top Shot app? Well, let me tell you something. What if we already had one? Let's bring on Avi from MomentWatch. Avi, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mike. Couldn't have asked for a better introduction there. It's nice to be on the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you for, I know we've been trying to make this work for like a week or so I appreciate your flexibility and getting you on here. But I think it's always fun to talk with people who are like building within the space and creating their own stuff to, enhance the user experience. And I feel like that's something that you've done by making Top Shot a little bit more accessible, at least when we're on the mobile, So talk to me, like before we dive into the app, talk to me a little bit, just kind of what your experience has been in like on Top Shot and like how you got into it and where you're at now.
Yeah. So like the majority of people, I joined in the first big spike back in February 21. I think I bought my first pack in March and was instantly hooked like the rest of us here.
There you go.
And yeah, since then I've been a flipper, but flipping into the cards I want. So, buying low and selling high. Big Celtics fan. So
hell yeah, you came to the right place, baby. What was some of like when you say you're like flipping into some better moments and some like more grail type stuff, what were some of the things that you were like when you first got on, you're like, oh man, I don't think I'll ever be able to get some of that, and then like through the experience you've been able to flip into?
Oh yeah, all right. I mean, any Series 1 Celtics is a little too much for me right now. The Tatum debut, Jaylen Brown debut. That's out of my price range, but I have been able to finish a couple of the team sets. I've got the
Nice.
Neesmith four badge, the Peyton Pritchard 4 badge. And yeah, I mean, I just remember, buying my first base set pack back in the day and flipping like a George Hill for, more than I paid for the pack. And I was like, oh, this is
It's
awesome.
the best. Anytime you can make money off George Hill, I think it's a good move. So I guess talk to me a little bit about MomentWatch. And for those that don't know, I'm going to share 2 links into the chat right now. So I'm going to share the MomentWatch Twitter account so you can follow along. But I'm also going to share a link to both their like the homepage. Oops, I did the wrong thing there. Both the homepage of MomentWatch.app and you can find a blog over there as well. But talk to me a little bit about like the impetus for this creation and kind of where it's going.
Yeah. All right. I guess it actually began last May. I had a project for a class during one of my last semesters at university, and I was
Yeah.
like, why don't I explore the Top Shot marketplace? It was for a high frequency trading class, so it managed to sort of fit right in.
Yeah.
And I decided, just to sort of scrape things off the Flow blockchain. Um, and I found, I think, one somewhat helpful tutorial, but there wasn't a ton of resources out there. And it really sort of frustrated me that I couldn't go and dive into all this data because if anything, there's just so much to dive into. After that project, I tabled it for about 6 months, and then this past January, I finally figured out how to crack into the Top Shot API, if you
Nice.
will. And I looked at it and I said, why isn't there a mobile app yet? We can pull all of this public data and show the user what they want to see. And that was how the app began. So I started working on it in early January. In March, I think most people remember the announcement by Roham and the announcement of the funds for different creators,
Right.
which kind of angled right into what I was doing. So I was able to meet with the Dapper team and become one of the Dapper Studio ecosystem projects.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I've sort of been in touch with them for the last 6 months about just compliance and making sure that what I'm doing is in the green.
Yeah.
And then now the app seems to be pretty stable. We've got new features every other week or so. And yeah, it's just for any collector who wants to avoid the mobile site on their phone just to go and view a card or view a moment or
It's okay.
or just track the market or whatever you want to do in the app.
So if you're cool with it, why don't we share your screen? We can kind of because you were able to plug into your phone. So what we'll be able to do is kind of like see you like taking us through the app and through like some of the functions of it. Because I think that is because so many people have been asking for it for such a long time, right? Like a more easier way to track on mobile and this is pretty sharp. So I think people, if they're not aware of it, are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I see in the comments already. The big question is when is Android?
Yeah.
So before I share, I'm just gonna address that the
Yeah.
app is built natively in a language called Swift, which is specifically meant for apps on the Apple App Store. So to redesign that for Android would require creating a whole new visual part of the app. So that's a little bit out of my scope right now. But it's always possible. All of the data is there if we ever get around to it.
Yeah, that would take another Dapper resource grant. So if Dapper, if you're watching, JP, I know you're watching right now, get obviously more money. All right.
But yeah, why don't I show you the app, show you what you can do, and you guys can decide for yourself if it's something you want to check out.
Well, as you start to pull this up, what would you say was like one of the more challenging aspects of putting this together? Like, was there one thing that stood out that you're like, oh man, this is just a hurdle that's going to take a while?
Oh man, there's a lot to go over, but I'll cover the obvious one, which a lot of people actually seem to be unaware of, is that you cannot currently in any app, regardless of anything on Flow, buy, sell, or trade NFTs on a mobile app without giving your cut to Apple. So people roll their eyes right now at the 5% marketplace fee, but if you were to do that on an iPhone app, Apple would request 30% of that transaction. And there's no way to get around that. Fortnite actually tried that, got sued by Apple,
Mhm.
lost, and had to pay it all back. So, you can't
Yeah.
just kind of ignore it.
Yeah, that marketplace fee would go up a little bit, I think. All right, cool. Why don't if you want to because I can still kind of see the background of the screen that I'm about to pull up, and so if you want to plug into the phone, and then I'll fire it up because right now I'm seeing, yeah, there we go. Oh, almost there.
Oh, all right, we good?
Yeah, now we are. All right, so people can see now. They see you have 116 text messages.
Yeah, this is my iPhone right here. You can see we've got the MomentWatch app installed. I've already signed in, but when you download it, it's going to ask you just to verify your phone number and then type in your Top Shot username. And once you do that, you're going to see, this screen right here. This is my collection. You're all privy to see it. It's all public information. But right off the bat, it loads. Within a second or so, you can see the total number of moments, the account valuation, and all 300 of the moments that I own. Most of them just floor moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it even works offline. So if I were to close the app, go to some place that didn't have service, like on the train or in a stadium or just any dead zone, it's going to actually, since it's saved all of this already, going to just reopen it here, and you can see the last saved
Oh wow.
list of your cards, of your moments. Let's share a couple other things. So if you tap into a moment, I'm going to tap the Aaron Neesmith one. It's going to pull up this page right here. You can see the actual moment. You can see the lowest listings right now. You can see this new arc that I've sort of redesigned that shows you things like how many are locked and how many are burned. You can also see the sales log too. So
That's
you can
great.
see that this morning.
I was just gonna say that we could see Zake right there. Zake team holder, just a recent buyer. So congratulations.
Yeah,
Zake.
last night at 6:32.
I saw as you're going over this, Rad Dad had a question. He said, "What's driving the account value?" So where are you pulling that from? Is it directly from Top Shot?
Oh yeah, so all of the information you see in the app is directly pulled from Top Shot, pretty much live. There might be 30 seconds to a minute lag sometimes, but yeah, this is all, we were to go and I'll actually show. You can click this little blue arrow up top. It's going to take us to, in this case, my Rob Williams right here. But we can go and see all listings, and we'll see that should line up with the 106 lowest ask.
Wow, this is great.
And same thing for cereals here. If we go back to the Neesmith that we were looking at, it's actually going to stack the order book too.
Yeah.
So we can see that at $115, there's 3 for sale with the lowest at 160. This moment might be a little too spread out to see this, but if we go down to a 60K moment, like I'm looking at the Mitchell Robinson right here, we can see that there's 5 for sale at $3 with the lowest cereal at 10,699.
Wow. So what do you find, like just you as the user, maybe not you as the builder, what is the thing that you find to be the most like beneficial part of this app? Like what function of it do you find that you use the most or you would use the most?
Yeah, I just use it, to keep tabs on my collection, see what's spiking. It's pretty easy, if you're checking a couple times a week to see what's up a lot typically because of a challenge. And that was sort of why this whole page was designed, was for the flash challenge era. We saw some moments temporarily spike up to 8 or 10 times their value, and unless you were on your computer, refreshing, keeping track of the live stats and the flash challenges, it was just too much to track. So this kind of just lets you open up your app and see, okay, which moments rise to the the cream of the crop here.
Yeah. Do you I don't know if this is something you have access to, but do you know like the amount of users that are currently tapped in or have like downloaded or created an account with MomentWatch?
Yeah. So I know in the last 30 days, I think we're still over the 500 rolling number. So every day that's gonna, remove the 31st day and then add yesterday. Right. So I think it's about 500 users right now. Anywhere from like 40 to I think 94 was our most in one day.
Wow, that's great. And like I as someone who I'm sure is like constantly tweaking and constantly like wanting to improve, I'm sure just like as your nature, that's like how you build. Is there something right now that you're like, oh man, this is if like this is something that I would love to be able to add or tweak, or where's
Oh
your?
man, it's like you know the exact question to ask. So this is only on my local version right now, but it should be coming to the App Store soon. So if you click this little bookmark, you can actually see the price for moments on your watch list. I only have 2 random moments here.
Yeah.
You will be able to. So this is available. Seeing the moments, you will be able to actually save certain price markers. So let's say I wrote $10 here for this Marcus Smart moment. And then what I'm trying to work out the details and the bugs right now, and is you're going to get a push notification once that moment actually crosses that threshold.
Dude, my God, that was okay. So now not only am I asking the questions that you want me to ask, you're giving me the answers that we're going into my next question. Because I was going to ask too, like, is this at a push notification point? Like, is that something we're working towards? And I think that's incredible. Instead of waiting to get an email that works 40% of the time, or logging in and seeing the red bell, being able to get pinged like that is that's a pretty sharp use case, I think.
Yeah, so within 60 seconds, the idea is that it's going to send you a one-time push notification, and then it's going to wipe this value. So if it goes up to 10 and then back to 8 and then 10 and 8 and fluctuates, I don't want to send you 100 push notifications.
I think that's also a good addition.
Yeah, it should just be all right. You get the idea that it's at 10, and maybe you don't see it for an hour, but if it's still there, it's still there. If not, you can just go back and reset it. And you can also again always just click the little blue button. Those are going to take you right to the Top Shot site. And here, you can see the lowest ask is $2 if I found a price right now that I wanted to buy.
Yeah, that's great. I also saw Rad Dad put a comment into the chat. He said, is there any thought on having a section that pulls in a real-time Discord or Twitter announcements for Streamline notifications? Because I know that is something I feel like when notifications come out, sometimes it's email, sometimes it's Discord. They've gotten a little bit better with that, but I do like the thought of oh yeah, there it is. It's pinged right there.
Yeah, no, that's the the other idea is just a feed that keeps all of the announcements and alpha in one spot.
Yeah.
It would be really awesome if that's something that Top Shot created, and then we could just pull into the app rather than try to curate it ourselves. Because pulling from 5 or 6 different sources when we're not the ones making the announcement is very challenging. But that's definitely a possibility, or to just have someone maintain it, and it's like a reporter. You just post whatever the alpha is in the app.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned this earlier before about the dialogue back and forth that you've had with Dapper, right, by acquiring the grant. Is it still a pretty much an ongoing conversation relationship with them, as you make tweaks and adjustments that you go through them, or are you kind of now that the funds are secured, you can do whatever you want, or what's that process like?
Yeah, so the original funding that I received was back in April. I hope I'm allowed to talk about this. And
I think you are.
that was just initial funding to get the project going. I'd love to secure some additional funding, and maybe move to work in this full time. But that is still to be seen. It'll play out that way.
I think there's I'm not gonna make you do this right now, but there's part of me that I feel like we should get you full screen and you make a full pitch right now as to why we need to get more funding so we can do this full time, and then we cut it up, we put it into a TikTok, and then we make Top Shot retweet it. But I will not put you in that gauntlet, but I want you to know that is where my brain went first.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a little more complicated than that. I don't want to get too much into the details, but I know that is not something I'm allowed to talk about.
No, I know. And as someone who also went through a similar process, I do know that there's way more that involved in that than than just making a TikTok. But for the content, Avi, I was thinking, what's been some of the feedback that you've been receiving from users? I guess both positive, and is there anything? I mean, I'm sure it's the stuff that you're already tweaking and working on, but I didn't know if there was any feedback that you've gotten and be oh man, we'd love to see this next.
Yeah, so let's switch over to the profile tab here. A lot of the feedback was I want to be able to see my sets, or I want to see my packs purchased, and I want to know where I stand in the leaderboard. So all of that you can also do. You can see, here's the team sets that I've sort of flipped my way up to. I click the Celtics one, and it's going to show me right here, the checklist that I want to see, whether it's locked or unlocked. If you're wondering, I have not locked. You can see I'm just missing that that pesky Ennis Cantor here.
Oof.
But you can see, my leaderboard rank, my lock score, and you can actually switch to any team if you just tap the logo up here. So, if I want to go to the 76ers, same thing right here. So yeah, pretty easy, nifty way just to show your progress and see you switching. So this was something that was, asked for as soon as leaderboards came out, and we made sure to push out pretty quickly.
And when you make an adjustment on something like that, what is the timetable for you? Like, so when you start to finish of trying to make an adjustment in real time about adding that feature, what's the timeline like that for you?
Yeah, so if it's a single day feature, whereas I can sit down, add it in one session, and submit it, it takes a day or so to get that finished, tested. Then I've got to submit it to Apple. Apple's going to review every single update that I send out, and then once Apple approves that, it could take anywhere for another 24 hours for that update to be released on the Apple App Store. So it's not like a website where I can snap my fingers and you see the live change. It's a little slower. But I actually think that's a good thing. It lets me, have a little more time to test and review. And I can sort of batch things out in updates rather than, have to take it down every time I want to put up, a new change.
Yeah. And if you're just using this as a user and you buy something, what is the lag time between making that purchase on Top Shot and the adjustment or the update to the app?
Yeah. So prices, the lag time is up to 60 seconds. So if someone purchases the floor price for any of these moments, in a minute it'll actually update. I don't know, you can go back and watch the stream, but you might actually have seen this account value, auto update while I've been giving
it.
The
it did. I think it's gone up $5 since this stream started because I feel like it was $12.36 when we started.
Yeah, so that's gonna live update, and then if you purchase a new moment or you sell a moment, you just have to refresh the app.
Okay, that's great. I mean, honestly, 60 seconds is pretty much how long it takes on the Top Shot site itself anyways. But
yeah, no, that code, has been rewritten, I think 30 or 40 times just to get it to be, smooth and efficient as you saw. The first versions, it was like some of them wouldn't load and it could take, 3 minutes. And I was like, this is not useful to anyone.
Yeah. Now, are you on this solo too? Are you pretty much working on this by yourself?
Yeah, I'm a grad student right now at the University of Illinois studying computer science. So, this is stuff I'm somewhat learning in school, but yeah, whenever I get a free afternoon or something, I just like to sit down and, add something. I'm not looking to make any money off of it or collect any data. The only reason I ask for phone numbers is because of the play tab here. There's no live game right now, but, I don't want someone coming in and, faking who they are.
Sure.
And I guess I should clarify by that you'll notice that once you get into the app, it's very difficult to change, the username you've associated yourself with. But there's nothing stopping me from coming in and saying, I'm you, Mike, if I know your Top Shot username. I don't actually have access to change anything, but I can see all this information as if I were you.
Right.
But in the actual, play part, you can, change stuff because it's just a DFS game. I could go and change your lineup. I don't want to allow you.
Right. No. I think that's great. I think, and that's great that you're still able to access other people's stuff in the sense of in the view mode, that you're able to see it, but that you're not able to play around with it obviously is good. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And if anyone's thinking I don't know how I want to phrase this. All I'm saying is, Avi's doing this while he's in grad school. What are you guys doing? You know what I mean? This side hobby.
That's
already doing more for the community than you fools in the chat. No, this is really cool, man. Here we go. Chris says, few people make me feel more inadequate than grad student Avi Solo building a mobile app for a blockchain product. I totally agree. And I'm sorry if you said this, and you don't have to say it if you don't want to, but what are you studying in graduate school right now? And does this kind of align with what you're doing? Or is this truly, you're just nah, this is good for my brain to do something different as a side project. It's a good reset.
Yeah, so I guess it breaks down into a couple parts. My focus right now in grad school is game theory and market optimization and networks. That's kind of what I've been studying and some of the math and optimization behind that. in terms of building the app, most of my experience and how I sort of picked up these skills was through a previous job with Amazon. I don't know, how many of you were watching the um, Thursday Night Football stream last night, but there was an advertisement for an app called AMP, which is owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
It's a Clubhouse competitor. So that was the team that I was on, and I sort of worked with them in between their alpha launch and their beta launch to get that app
Wow.
up. So that was awesome, and that's sort of how I learned all these skills here to go and build the visual part of the app.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, and I can pull that off. Yeah, that's really sharp, man. Again, like, thank you for anytime we're able to bring somebody on who is building, honestly, just kind of because they enjoy the product, right? They're just like having fun with it. It scratches an itch for them and is making like the user experience for other people better without any sort of, it's like you said, you're not doing this for the bags. You're not doing this for the money.
And
That
it's too hard to sort of build a third party product.
Yeah.
And unless you want to I guess charge subscriptions, and then you have to build your volume, and
Right.
if the larger product, in this case Top Shot or other things sort of lag, then you're privy to that. I didn't want to have to go through that. It's not fun for anyone to have to pay and add firewalls.
Yeah.
I'm just here to
Have a good time.
It cut out. Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I took it off the screen too because I saw it go to your. I saw it go to your phone.
Yeah, there was one more tab I wanted to show.
Oh yeah, here, you want to plug it back in? I'll throw it back up there. I saw it go to your phone home screen, and I never know what's gonna pop up, so it's just playing it safe,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, and I see in the comments here, Chris and JP, giving a shout out here. They've both been extremely helpful so far in this process. So give them a shout out here.
I believe that
really appreciate it, guys.
I believe that Dapper's been helpful. I'm a little hesitant to give JP or Chris any credit for anything, so we'll see. But but no, just goofing.
No, they deserve it. They've been awesome.
Yeah, they're good dudes. Good dudes. All right, I think I can pull your screen back up. I am seeing it's. Yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking.
All right, there we go. Yeah, last thing I wanted to bring up. The market tab. This is the same for every person, but this is just some tools I built to sort of keep track of different things around the market. Awesome. The first thing I wanted to mention, the market cap graph. And if you actually go back to a week, you'll notice some sort of mayhem going on here. And I don't know if anyone saw the tweet thread that I posted, but you could see it actually peaked up to like 500 million. The way that most sites are currently calculating market cap is that they're taking the lowest ask and they're multiplying it by the number of editions. So in this case, it was a LeBron moment that someone swept the floor from like 14,000 and the next listing was like 1 million. And you see it jump here.
I remember seeing that happen on a bot on Twitter where it was like, it was like a 14K moment that was purchased, and then the floor was 987,000 after that. I was like, okay, yeah, that's
and the other one that was big culprit was the Derrick Rose. I think it was Deck the Hoops.
I think so too. Yeah,
moment that had a max sale of 20,000, but a lowest listing of 1 million, and so it's being counted as 1 million. Per moment, which is 50 million to the market cap, which was like 12%, I think.
Yeah.
So one of the changes that actually came out, in the last 24 hours or so, is the adjusted market cap here. That's going to give you a much better representation. And what this does is, instead of saying what's the lowest listing, it says what is the minimum of the lowest listing and the max sale. So for that Derrick Rose, it's now going to count only for 20,000, which is, in the current market, probably still a little generous. But at least it was worth 20,000 at one point because someone actually paid that price for it. And if that lowest listing comes down to 10,000, then it's going to count as 10,000 again.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going. I cut you off.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just going to say the other thing you can do here is actually keep track of the total moments minted, and you can throw on filters so we can see the total S4 breakdown right now.
Oh, that's great. And I love that breakdown of burned in locker room, hidden in packs. That's great. It's just a little bit easier to understand and like quickly digest, which I think is nice. Yeah,
exactly. You can see the overall breakdown of 37 million moments. Only 237,000 actually burned. I think the number on the Top Shot site is wrong. A couple people pointed that out before me.
Yeah.
On Twitter. But yeah, this is the actual breakdown here.
Good Lord, that's a lot of moments.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to see it broken down by player, same thing. We got the market caps
this
here.
is dope. Yeah, I love this.
Yeah. Any guesses to who's number 10 here?
Ooh, let's see. Man, I feel like it's probably a good player too, right? I don't know. What are we? Kevin? No, it's not Kevin Durant. Gosh, I don't know. I don't have a good guess.
You were right.
It was Kevin Durant. Oh man, stick to your guns.
Yeah, so feel free to go check it out. We've got live updating top 100. I think is how far it goes down. Yeah, and some of them you can attribute probably to specific moments, but
yeah.
Same thing with team, and then the last thing, guys, before I wear you all out,
No, this is great.
The PAX EV calculator here. So these run it back packs haven't been stuffed, so we can't actually do anything with those. But like take the Subird game recognized game drop, we can just get that EV right now. What is that pack actually worth with its expected value? And it seems like they kind of nailed it right on the head.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That the Get EV is fantastic.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to go spot check this, the easiest one I say is use Anthology, since there's only 4 moments.
Yeah.
You could see, how, sometimes it throws an error, how profitable this actually was. If you were to buy them all, that's how much, the floor price would be worth of all of them.
Wow.
That's probably the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah. No, this is fantastic. And also, yeah, Samosa giving you a little bit of love, saying the UI is clean right there. And it is. Yeah, this is like, so, again, I keep going back to the word digestible, where I think sometimes when you flip around on sites and you just get a lot of colors coming at you and a lot of different, it can sometimes be a little overwhelming. And I mean, the ease of having this in a mobile form, but also the ease of digesting the information is it's pretty great. I mean, again, I'm blown away. This whole thing's been great, but the Get EV part of just being like clicking a button, because there's always questions around EV, and I think maybe 10% of the people talking about it actually understand what EV means. And so to have that as like a quick breakdown is pretty great.
Yeah, and you can even see the number left for rewards. So it looks like there's 13 magic packs left. I don't know if those will ever be given out. You can always send them to me if you're interested in offloading them to after employees. But yeah, that's pretty much everything important in the app. Maybe we can come back and talk out the play game later once we get closer to the season. But
no, yeah. Absolutely, man. As you continue to build, and we're always down to have you come on and just like talk about updates or whatever. Even if you have something new and you're looking for feedback, we'd love to have you on. We always appreciate people that are doing stuff that's not complaining, and I'm guilty of that. So it's nice that it's a nice change of pace. But I have to say this, because the chat refuses to let anyone just be happy with the job that they've done. Roger said, "Would you replicate this for all day though?" When all day.
Yeah, I don't know if that API is public yet. I mean, in terms of like throwing stuff into this, part of the app, it really shouldn't be too tough, and it would be kind of cool to see it all together with all the badges and everything. But yeah, that's not in the cards right now. Open to it, but the funding would have to be there. So
and then, I'm sorry, Roger. I know I was just goofing, Roger.
No, I appreciate it. It's always helpful to hear other people's feedback.
Yeah. Let me I'm gonna share your stuff into the chat one more time. And if they are trying to find it on Apple, they just throw in MomentWatch and that'll pop up.
Yeah, it should be. For me, it shows up as the first one because I've searched it so many times. But yeah, it should be there if you search MomentWatch, I hope.
Awesome. And if you're having issues, I just dropped links into the chat for both the MomentWatch Twitter handle as well as the MomentWatch.app, and you can find it through that way. But man, I really appreciate you coming on this morning. And I know it's Central Time over there, so you even got up a little early for this.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it, and yeah, look forward to having you come back on, man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me this morning, Mike.
Yeah, awesome. All right, we'll talk soon. We're gonna get Avi out of here. Thanks again, man. Dude, great stuff. I love being able to bring people on and just kind of show you that the rest of you guys are useless, And I think that's what Avi did. I think Avi individually, like, he'll never say it. I'll say it for him, though. Useless, guys. When are you going to do something besides at me in the Discord to update something? You know what I'm saying? we have to switch the energy in here. That was too positive. That was too informational and educational. It's time to get angry. No, but thank you, Avi, for coming on, man. That was awesome. Make sure you go follow him on Twitter and go follow and go download the app. If anything, just to pump those numbers up, okay? Give them the morning marketplace boost. What else we got going on today? Just a reminder, noon. We're back at noon to do some NFL all days. Big Ticket's going to come on. Jay Light's going to come on. We're going to go over last night's game. We're going to go over the new challenge that came out. We'll talk a little bit about week 2 and some OTM Rumble. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, no, we're not going to do the happy hour show today. I got pulled in a different direction this afternoon. But then Sunday, we're back. Sunday morning at 11, we'll be back to do some last minute cramming for the week 2 slate. And then AJ Curry from NFL All Day is going to come on and announce what the new Sunday slate challenge is going to be. So we still have more stuff coming at you. We got some time now, though, to I don't know, talk about whatever you want. All right. I think we've talked about Run It Back to Death. We did some crazy reaction stuff. Then we did some more what's the right word? Measured reaction stuff on Shot Tank. And then yesterday we kind of broke down the pack itself and the players in it. I feel like we've covered that. Hey, and then right after this show, if you guys want to go check out No Dunks, because it'll actually be just like good. It'll be good basketball takes. No Dunks, the Hot Boys, Top Shot Hot Boys, Skeets and Trey are going to open some game recognized game packs, and then they're also going to talk about the Run It Back pack. So recommend checking that out. That's going to start at 10 a.m. So check that out. Yeah, come to Team Hold so they can plug other people's content because they're not doing a good job. That's what you're doing here. And then Avi's still in the chat answering questions. All right, let's see. Today the day for the leadership. Oh, look, No Dunks in the chat too. There you go. Do we think we get the leaderboard snapshot today? You're right. It feels like it's coming before. It feels like it's coming before the Run It Back drop. No, it does feel like we are going to get that beforehand. So maybe it's today. Maybe they do a little Friday news dump with the snaps shot for the leaderboards. That could be the case. Or maybe Monday. I don't know. But I do imagine that's coming in the next few days. But who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know. And I think we should all, although you know what, I shouldn't say that. I care about it a little bit less because I'm not monitoring the leaderboards. But I know some of you are out there sweating it out between like 650 or 670. Or 750 and like are just refreshing. So I get it, but hopefully it's coming soon for those of you guys hanging on. Let's see what else we got. Jordan says Bucks team holders got some season tickets to share. There we go. Going to a game with the wifey at some point this year. And I think that's dope. Again, we can't shut out the team captains enough, right? I think it is really cool what they're doing. So for the Dapper team that put that project together, and then for the volunteers, for the team captain volunteers, doing all that work is really, really cool. Oh, that reminded me. Oh, next week. I'm not sure what day it is yet, but the Atlanta Hawks captain, or the captains, both of them, they're going to come on the show. We were going to try to do it this week, but I think it's going to be next week, obviously, because today's Friday. So they're gonna come on and talk a little bit about what the Atlanta fandom teams are doing, and that's going to be something we're going to continue to do. Right? We had Billy from the TSD Garden come on. And although now I'm seeing him make the rounds, and Billy, I thought we had like a good connection, that it was just like me and you. But now here you are, just like going on other streams. But no, we're going to try to continue to shout out the team captains. We'll get Chewy on here at some point soon. And just kind of see what they're doing and what that experience is like. Oh, what else we got? Ivan says, sick of adding $20 every day to keep my position of above 750. I get it, dude. That's why I gave up. What else we got? What else? Super draft. So Joker Rock, we did build a super draft lineup yesterday, but that is a reminder that and I'll share a screen just so we can see what's happening today. So the super draft contest locks tonight at 9 p.m. It's a $5 entry. $5 entry for a shot at something like, I don't know, a Kawhi Leonard Top Shot debut. There can only be 480 contestants in it. Once it's full, it's full. And right now they're up to 263. No, yeah, 263 right now. Let me blow this up. Oh no, it's already blown up. So if we go look at this contest, you can see, right, for $5, first place is a Kawhi Top Shot debut. Second place, a Trey Top Shot debut. Jimmy Buckets for third. Kaminga Ford Badger for fourth. Then a DeJounte Murray for fifth. That's an MGLE Series 2. You got a Bam Top Shot debut, a Franz Wagner debut, DeRozan debut, Paul George debut, Klay Thompson's vintage fives. And then they pay out top 75. So definitely check that out. We built some lineups yesterday. I'm pretty excited about, and it's a fun sweat. And again, I'm way more excited about this when the regular season starts. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But there you go. Theory on the all day site being inaccessible. Wonder if they needed to speed. Oh, it's not accessible right now. I didn't know that. Are you sure, bro? Bro, are you sure? Let me see, Tommy. Let me see, Tommy. He's logging in. He's logging in. He's scrolling around. He's looking at. Oh, there you go. All right. Sorry, there was a problem. Okay, fine, dude. Fine. Yeah, and it logged me back out. All right. Looks like Tommy was right and I was wrong. Yeah, maybe, Tom. What else? What did I miss here? What did I miss here? Do they have a free one tonight? Yes, they also have a free one tonight as well. Okay, so it looks like all day is down. I don't know, guys. All day is down. Top Shot's up. What do you think about that? Time to burn it to the ground? Time to burn it to the ground. What do we think? Dave Feldman, answer me. No, we're not going to talk about all day until noon, because if we talk about it now, what are we going to talk about then? What are we going to talk about then? I don't know. Anything else? We got Kyrie, Sharon, Alex Jones stuff. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Continue to be the contrarian monster that you are. Shout out KD. KD picking Robin like he was the Joker. You know what I'm saying? What a monster, dude. I don't know. I don't even have anything else to say about that. Just like, it's no longer fun. You know what I mean? That's not fun. That's not fun. You want to go ahead. You want to spray your oh my God, what's the word? What's the word that like 18-year-olds get really jacked about doing when they move into college for the first time? Oh, let me burn some incense. Nothing says being sick like a cool ass adult like burning some incense. You want to go ahead and do that? Do that, Kyrie. Alex Jones, you psychopath. All right. What else you got? Connecticut Sun holding on for dear life. Yeah. Shout out the Sun. Sun went up like 20 yesterday. And then they were like, what if we let the Aces back into it? Sage. Sorry, Sage. Sage. Thank you, guys. Sage. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I have so much PTSD from being a residence hall director in my young 20s at colleges, where like you're not allowed to burn stuff in a college dorm because it's a college dorm and there's 350 people living in it, and you're also an idiot 18-year-old. You shouldn't be lighting anything except for bongs. And they and also there were so many times I'm like, dude, this doesn't make you cool. All this does is set the fire alarm off. Sorry, a little PTSD. You're right. Everybody, that's what I was saying. Go back to your Sage. Dickie Chucky says, on the playback reward series 1 moments look like it says season 2, but the moment was series 1. I think it's going to be a combo of both. Mike was definitely a narc RA. No, dude, I wasn't. I was on. You want a little? This was actually in a performance review that I had when I was an RA. Also, I was talking about when I was an RD. I was a full ass adult at that time, Eric. But my performance review when I was an RA was Mike is not someone we trust for programming, for like documentation, for following like the nuts and bolts of the position. But if the building was on fire, there was no one else I'd rather have. And I like that. I'm an emergency response man, okay? When shit gets real, I show up. But if you want me to document someone for bringing a candle in, I'm not interested, okay? I'm not interested. When team hold bongs? It's a good question. That's a good question. You know what? No, I'm not going to go out there and put more merch. Everybody asked for merch for like 8 years. And then like 6 things were purchased. Okay. So, now I'm starting to realize you guys need to do a better job with follow through. Mike Narkarian is pretty good. Did you have a wet, hot American summer camp experience? What? No, no, but I love wet, hot American summer though. It's great. The store Jordan, you know the store's up, baby. You made the store. Which again, I need to send you that. Oh God, it's another reminder. When all those kids are burning shit in their dorms and Mike hasn't stopped them and they burn the building down, we want Mike. That's right. I was pretty good, man. I was good. I was a solid staff member, okay? I did it for a long time. Way too long. I was an RA for 2 years, but then I went to grad school and I was job out of grad school. I was an RD. I was a director of residence. I was King Narc, actually. That's what they called me, King Narc. Oh, and then I quit to talk to you psychos every day. Every day we turn on the camera at 9 in the morning. He won't stop the disaster, but he will absolutely pull the bodies. Never met an RA I liked. Well, Colton, let me throw this back at you. I've never met a Colton I've liked. All right. So let's call it even. Did you play lacrosse? Colton's got real lacrosse energy. And if you didn't play lacrosse, I bet you purchased lacrosse shorts, Colton. I bet you were into horse riding. This has rich white energy, if I've ever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm just kidding, Colton. I appreciate you being here. I'm sure you're nice. All right. You're gonna rip your AD reward packs on your stream at noon? Yeah, I think so. You think they play lacrosse in Finland? Oh, okay. I'm back in. I didn't know you were international, Colton. No, I don't think they played lacrosse. Is Valerie Botas Finland or is he Swedish? Valtteri Botas. Look at me, just trying to name the one Finn I know. No, all right, Colton, I take it back, dude. There's no way. You were just skiing, or were you hockey? Were you a hockey player, Colton? Mike, your performance review summary gave me anxiety. Listen. There's a reason I'm doing this now. I'll just say that. There's a reason I'm doing this now. All right. What else? We got, guys? Well, I'm just gonna. I feel like this is a slow moving train wreck. Like that's what's happening. This is going to end. This is going to end with the train in the water. But we're gonna ride it out. We're gonna continue to do this, especially because I canceled the happy hour show. So we're gonna ride this out. Oh, Wi-Fi is going down. Peter Forsberg was a Finn though. All right, shout out Peter Forsberg. Trouble with authority and rules. Yeah, I do think my dad actually started his own company, I think when he was probably in his 40s. And I think it's for similar reasons that like, I just don't think I respond well to people telling me what to do. And that's not bad. Oh, Stan, shut up. Stan. Don't make me do that. Ride it out like we did the Mike Williams rare last night. I know, dude. I know. That's okay. I probably wasn't selling it anyways. You're riding that out. You guys want a mental health check? We'll give you a mental health check. Let's see. HJ's in the morning. I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. That's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop. All right, here we go. Now let's get into story time. Did you ever deal with anything crazy as an RA, such as someone smoking acid-laced weed and freaking the F out? No, nothing like that. I will say, my first job out of grad school, I was working at a school. In like the suburbs in Massachusetts, and it was it's not really a junior college, but it was a 2-year school. It's essentially, it was a junior college, and it had a 4-year dance program that was like a really solid dance program. But then it had a really strong athletics program, but it was like student athletes who like really this was like their last chance to get their shit together before they could like take it to a 4-year institution. And there was a lot of wild stuff that happened. They had a really good football team, and a really good soccer team, but not necessarily the best people that were there. It wasn't BCC though. And because I just talked about athletics, and BCC didn't have athletics or good athletics. And one night what happened, I was like, really, I wasn't feeling well, but I was like the staff member that was on like the 24/7 call in case some weird shit happened. It was a Friday night. I was like really congested, which seems like not something that I need to tell you, but it'll make sense when it happens. But what happened, we had also Jeb just tweeted it out so you can find it. But what happened was we had their lacrosse team was good. Their lacrosse team was good. Good callback, Colton. But what happened was there was the players on the soccer team. There were these two kids who were dealing drugs. They were like known drug dealers on campus. Nothing crazy, like nothing bad was happening, but they were like that's where you went if you needed stuff. And one night, there were two football players who kicked down the door to. Now, I was called. So 5'7", probably at that time 125 pounds, and like I look young now for 37. I was 23 at the time, 24 at the time, so this is 13 years ago. Honestly, I looked like a small person version of John Mulaney. I wasn't able to grow facial hair probably at that point, and I am called into that. All right, and I run in. Not running. I go up into like where the situation was going on. And what had happened was, but I didn't know it. I didn't smell it because I was so congested. The soccer players sprayed pepper spray. So pepper spray and mace just like flying around in this like short, small, compact area. And I like run up into it. And then immediately, like, I don't smell it. I don't feel, all of a sudden I'm like choking on it. And I'm like, what am I doing anyways? Like, how am I going to go in there and fix anything when these just monster athletes, these huge, huge men who were 18 at the time, but were more manly than I was at that point. And I go in there and then I'm just like coughing and crying, like, cause my eyes are just watering uncontrollably. Bet you rocked a good undershirt though. Sell yourself short. I know I did. And it was just out of control. It was absolutely out of control. And it was just laughable because then I have to I come out of the building and I've got like tears coming down and I'm like coughing and like also trying to be authoritative in that moment. That's probably the craziest thing that happened. Like I didn't expect to get sprayed with pepper spray. But yeah, that was probably the wildest funny thing. I also worked at MIT when all that shit happened at the Boston Marathon. And so like that was like the craziest thing that happened. That wasn't fun. But like for funny stuff, that was pretty wild. I also we had to do like building checks, like at the end of the year, or like for holiday breaks, you have to like go through the building, make sure everybody was gone. And I can't tell you how many times I walked in on people boning, which is just like, there's no like cool way to be like, hey guys, don't finish. Like, can you go? I need you to go. Like that's never good. I was like so used to it though, at the point where I would just like when you're knocking on the door, you're like, please don't be banging. Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of it. That was kind of it. Anything else that we need to hit? I feel like we got the good stuff out there. Yeah. Narc and a cock block, the Mike Zakarian story. Yeah. Yep. All right. I think we're going to call it there. Listen, that went exactly as well as I thought it would. Go ahead, check out MomentWatch. If you're joining late, the first half hour of the stream, go back to it. Avi was here talking about like the incredible app that he built for Top Shot, truly just out of the goodness of his heart. So go check that out. We also have right after this, actually, yeah, go to No Dunks. The Top Shot Hot Boys are going to be ripping some packs and talking about the Run It Back. We'll be back here at noon with Big Ticket and Jay Light. We're going to talk about some football stuff. Join the Discord. Tell someone you love them. Unless it's JP, we out.
Well, the Top Shot streets are